Wow. Anyway, we're not taking a break like you mentioned, and we're jumping right straight to our entertainment item of the day. Being a Thursday, definitely, it's entertainment. So we want to now talk about comedy. And our topic is just basically to better understand the growth of comedy industry in this country. On set, I'm joined by Stephen Okoth, a.k.a. Kish.
Yes.
Let's start from there.
Sure.
Kish.
Yes.
Stephen Okoth is actually your real name.
Stephen Okoth is my real name.
Where did Kish come from then?
Kish is my signature.
Is your signature. And every artist, whether comedian, musician, whichever, they have to have a signature name.
Sure.
So when we talk about comedy, definitely we always have this mindset of it probably is a stand-up comedy because that's what we are mostly used to. So how would you describe your comedy styles?
Basically mine, I derive it from storytelling. I do storytelling mostly. So in that storytelling, that is where I put my comedy inside. Yes, so basically mine is just storytelling and enacting scenes. Yes, in this storytelling, I'm enacting scenes. So I'm not just telling stories and you're not seeing the real picture. So mine is doing story and telling the story by enacting scenes. Yes.
So your style of comedy is telling stories, not what you're used to, the kawaida one or stand-up comedies, you know, someone coming on a platform and they are talking to us about some things here and there. But for you is the storytelling kind of comedy.
Yes.
So how different is that from what we are used to? Or basically when you talk about storytelling, what exactly are you talking about?
Basically,
is it stories like you just, decide, okay, Ama, how is that process like for you?
Basically for me, stories zangu come from, I've grown and I've lived in Nairobi for the longest time. Yeah. I was born and bred here. So basically, nizile story tu za mtaa. Mimi ni mtu wa Kanairo. In fact, some of my fans omaza kubandika my YouTube channel that ni Kanairo.
So they're moving from hustle ya Nairobi?
Yes.
To Kanairo.
To Kanairo.
Okay.
Yes, the YouTube channel is hustle ya Nairobi.
Yeah.
So there are stories that ukika mtaani wase uzipiga tu kwa base. Ama some experiences that umeka mtao, either umesnachiwa kitu ama umeona mtu akisnachiwa kitu. Those are stories that aupigiagi wase wengi.
And I feel like if you live in Nairobi, like there's no one who doesn't know that story.
Oh, no. Ni wengi wamepitia hiyo mkono.
Kasi simu ni bag, kasi it's just something.
Yes, kama si bago ni umuzi wa nini fake, TV fake. Yes, umeshikwa tenje fake. Ni vitu zina happen. Yeah. So you go home in the evening and you tell your spouse ama your friends that majamani nilionyeshwa Nairobi leo. So but ni a small circle that unaambia. But the story don't get out. So for me, now nimekam kupiga hiyo story sasa. But nikiipiga nataka pia uione. Yes. It's like leo nilienda tao, so we are seeing you going to town.
Yeah, because actually I was watching some of the clips, from YouTube, and there's this particular one which had like three, I've forgotten the name of that. Is it Mtupe or something?
Mtupe.
Yeah, and there were like three different stories. There's one where you're giving a story of how ulibiwa
nikipanda
mati, yes. Ingine headlights. No, but this one was another person's story.
Yes.
And then there's another one. What was it ulibiwa?
There was one headlights ilingolewa.
Yes.
There's one fair ilingolewa. And there's another one. Sasa nimekaa tu vibaya na nikachunwa.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now also because most or some of the stories that you tell, si zako specifically per se.
Yes.
So how do you put yourself in this other person's shoes as you're telling the story? Also in a way that at least it's comical and still interesting and still teaches us something.
Basically, I'll use you as an example.
Okay. Why me as an example?
Because it's the person next to me. So come home, assume tunapoona wewe come home, ukaniambia vile leo uliibiwa simu. Then the way umenarrate your story, najaribu kuivisha hapa kwa mind yangu. Ameibiwaje, inakam. So at the end of the day, hii story yako lazima itakuwa comedy. Because the way uliibiwa, ukiangalia hivi, hata sisi we can laugh over it. So these are some of the things that nakaa hivi nakaa chini nasema okay, bas. So nani aliibiwa hivi simu? So inakuwaga hivi na hivi. So now I make a story out of that. So basically zingine ni my real life experience zile nimeona na zingine ni zile watu wamenipigia. So now nakuletea live. Because those are stories that mkienda either bash ama mmeenda to some social gatherings, people just talk about them. The way uliuziwa TV fake. People talk about them and they laugh over them. But sasa now nakuletea sasa live sasa ona vile nakuaga. There are stories
this
that...
is what usually happens, because I also noticed underneath, you know, the videos, like, there's a lot of comments from Kenyans, and some are even laughing at the stories, and you wonder, like, how would you laugh at someone being removed from the headlights from, you know, from Macau or something, or how would you laugh mtu akiibiwa simu, mtu akifanywa hii na hii. So actually that's what you do, as in just trying to be in this person's shoes while you're telling their story, zile zenye sio zako.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically it's about relatability. You relate with it.
Yeah.
That's why nikipiga hiyo story, somebody ule atakam comment section anasema hata mimi nishaibiwa hivyo. So ana relate nayo. Yes.
But in that moment it becomes fun because you also know what to do.
Yes.
And how to, you know, be vigilant with yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, so then how did you start this kind of comedy? Because hapa Kenya hatuoni hiyo sana. Like the way I mentioned, we are so used to the stand-up comedy.
Yes.
And all of that. So how did you come up with this style of comedy, and when did you begin?
Basically, I've been in the art industry for the longest time. Just to take you back, kuna time nilikuwa mother-in-law. I've featured in mother-in-law for like 2 years. 2016,
some of our local programs.
Yes, local program. 2016, 2017. So then after that, kukawa tunafanya tu vitu zetu on the side. Then the beginning of, by the end of this year, the end of last year, that is 2020, then I thought of coming with something. So nikafikiria naweza come up na nini. Then luckily I bumped into one of the best guys of all times. I call him Master Abel. Abel Mutua doing his stuff.
Because he also does this kind of craft.
Then I came across Patricia. Then
Patricia Kihoro.
Patricia Kihoro doing some of these stories. Then I told myself, what if nikam na kitu that it has think different na the two of them? Because I believe in myself that I'm one of the best storytellers ever been.
Yeah.
Yes. It's only a matter of time. So nikasema mimi basi ndapiga story, but mine will be original that people can relate to, ama can relate with. Then I enact scenes in between. Because basically when you are given stories, ukipigiwa story hata na babu yako na mother yako kitambo, wanakupigia tu story, so it's way to
create hizo pictures kwa kichwa,
create hizo moments and stuff.
Yeah.
So but mimi nikasema wacha nikam na story na hizo moments, let you see them live. Yes, so that sasa una relate kabisa.
More real.
Yes, becomes more real. So hapo ndo unaingiza comedy yangu kidogo, una spice up, kitu kama hiyo.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so you say you began in 2017, as in this was just acting, local programs
2016,
and all.
2017,
there.
18.
But sasa hii storytelling art umeianza tu like late
Nimeanza 2020 late, nimeanza November. Yes.
So tuseme like what, like 2.5 months?
Yes, like 2.5 months.
So how has the reception been like? Since as much as it's been a short period of time, tunaweza sema.
Yes.
But how has the reception been like?
I'll call myself upcoming. So basically, upcoming wote wanapataga hiyo challenge ya vitu kugo viral ama kujulikana and stuff. So you still dwell around your circle. So but reception imekuwa poa. One, because wasee wamerelate na stories. And that was what I really wanted with my crew, that people should relate to these stories. So akisha relate nayo, so over time that build to your fan base over time, pole. But basically nafurahia one, that watu wana relate na story. So secondly, sasa ni kuingia sasa ndani
sasa kwa market kabisa.
Kwa market sasa kabisa ndani.
Okay, right. Now, let's again go back to this art or style of doing comedy, the storytelling bit.
Yes.
Do you feel, especially as kama, if I can say, Kenyans per se,
yes,
do you feel like it's an area where we need to at least start venturing into more, and this is for artists and comedians, just aside from the stand-up kind that we're used to and that we know?
I will tell you 110%.
Why?
Because
you're so confident, like we should.
I'm saying 110% because when we grew up, tunapigiwa story. And like I said before, in gatherings, in whatever form of circles, watu wanapigiwa stories. So ukipata watu wameboeka mahali kidogo, mtu atakama up na stories. So stories ni vitu, ni kama remedy. Yes. There's some therapy stories na kupatia.
Yeah, actually someone says that, you know, the best way to release.
Yes, yes.
Through speaking and talking.
You see, like when you come home na umekuwa na a bad day, na kuna mtu mwenye unamwambia vile kulikuwa na anakwambia it will be fine, it will be okay.
Stories.
You umempatia story yako vile ilikuwa, vile job ilikuwa hectic leo, but ana calm down. But ni through your story, anaweza picture yenyewe huyu anago a lot. So anakwambia tu calm down, itakuwa poa. So stories basically zina relieve. That is when you calm down, when you come home after job, na umekaa chini, una watch story yangu, ama unapiga story na mtu, unasikia ni kama unamasajiwa pole tu.
Kumassage kwa
kichwa. Unamasajiwa kwa kichwa.
Mental state yako inarudi back to normal.
Yes, imagine your daughter comes home from school anakwambia vile shule leo trip ilikuwa poa. Alafu wewe umetoka job ulikuwa na a bad day. Unatulia tu sasa. Yani sasa unamsikiza sasa. Okay.
So this is why you feel like probably this is an area we need to, at least go into. Isikuwa tu kucheka.
No.
At least something that, you can relate with, something that resonates with you more.
Yes.
Also makes you think and see life differently in different perspectives.
Yes.
Okay. Also one thing I noticed is you have, can I call them like two collabos or something? Because I saw another one you did with another guy, and I'd love to know how you go about picking that, because then again, you just don't go pick it about anyone that okay, Lacha tuonge story ya Nairobi, lacha tuonge story ya Wizi, lacha tuonge story ya, probably marketplace or something, or politics. So how do you go picking about, I will tell this story with this person, I won't tell this story with this other person. What goes into that process?
Basically nime segment story yangu in two fronts. That asoli ya Nairobi ni Kanairo vile inaitwa Kanairo. So mostly utapata watu wanakaga base wakipiga story. So when people sit around kwa base, unapata ni watu 3, 4, 5 people, mtu mmoja na come up na story, wasa wanacheka, wanashare. So nilitaka kuleta down, that's why naileta down to original stories that azitokagi kule nje kwa mainstream, ziko tu mashinani ndani. So base ni setup. So like the story I did with Abu Khalid Boaz, I believe that Boaz is still one of the best storytellers pia, that Embakasi, my hood, haijamtambua bado. So whenever I give stories, akipatia an experience yake za vitu 1, 2, 3, you can basically mtu unaweza sikiza for like 2 or 3 minutes akipiga story bila wewe kusonga. Na imagine huyo mtu anakufanya una cook vitu kwa brain yako, huyu ni mtu deadly. So I pick a story because I create the show. So I pick a story, nasema leo nataka kuongelea about topic X. Then I say that hii story nataka tukue wawili iwe push ni kama tuko kwa base. Then I create that setting ya base. That setup ya base. Then now I come na kupatia storyline. Alafu na kupatia like bullets that tutaongelea 1, 2, 3. Alafu
so pia kunaongana like practice beforehand.
Of course we have to.
Okay.
Of course we have to rehearse. Yes, we have to rehearse that nakupatia because I'm giving you the meat. So when ndio jaza hizo zingine. Yes, so nakupatia meat.
Make it fleshy.
Yes, make it fleshy. So and basically like for me with the Boaz, nampatia sasa story full vile nakupatia. Nampatia story yote vile iko. Alafu nakwambia sasa unaifilaje hiyo story?
Unaweza
ongeza nini ama unaweza toa nini, unafilaje hiyo story? That's when ujipiki hiyo story. Then come the next day before to the set, hebu nipigie story nisikie. Ananipigia na mshow hapa bado iko sawa, twende hewani.
So tunasema pia wewe ni mentor.
I do that.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll come to that in a bit.
Sure.
You mentioned something about also picking topics, like you can pick topic X, topic Z, topic Y, and I would love to know which kind of topics have you concentrated on na mbona? Because Nairobi kuna vitu mingi zina happen.
Yes.
Na huwezi fanya sometimes everything. They say like pick your niche.
Yes.
So for you, which are your topics that you probably pick on mostly, and why those specific topics when you're doing your comedy?
For me, like for Hustle ya Nairobi, the name Hustle ni hiyo up and down ya Nairobi vile Kanairo iko. And through that hustle unapata kuna mtu amechezwa. Kuchezwa I mean kuna mtu amegongwa kitu. So kuna hizo side za kugongwa na kuna side tu za wewe kama kijana wa Nairobi ama mtu wa Nairobi unapitia nini na nini.
Kuna tu stuff fulani you go through.
So utapata leo nimeongelea story ya vile mtu alichezwa simu ama alichezwa TV. Utapata kesho nimeongelea venye life experience yangu, venye kama the next show that naongelea, the next premiere yangu ya Sunday, naongelea story ya betting. Gambling.
There's a lot of that.
Gambling vile metufanya hii Nairobi. So
wengine wanasema ni business, wengine wanasema we need to do this.
Yes, like sisi tunasema ni full time job. Yes, na tuko kwa hao kwa masaiba na magazeti.
You're betting.
Tunachambua. So utapata kuna mtu akona experience yake through betting, aliyekelea ngiri 10 na ikashawa.
Hivyo tu.
Ngiri 10 nilikuwa ni ya rent ama ilikuwa ni ya fia mtoi na ikaoga.
Na sometimes maybe ni influence from somebody else.
Yes.
Ama watu wamekuwa kibeto kwa like okay, why not?
Yes. Utapata topic nyingine naongelea kitu kama vile usingizi shainifanya. In one of my usingizi shainifanya. Usingizi imenimess my friend.
Hata bila jambo mess wazee hapa acha tu sisi.
Usingizi ningekuwa nimeomoka kitambo sana.
Kasi usingizi.
Kama si usingizi Nairobi ingenitambua.
But your sleep is therapy.
But you see,
sleep is good therapy.
like imagine leo vile niko na come interview ninge oversleep.
So
ningelose opportunity. Yes.
Okay.
So unapata unaongelea vitu kama hizo. So nikiongelea story usingizi you can relate with.
Because I can relate. Buta ongelea hiyo.
Unaona, nikiongelea betting somebody else can relate.
Yeah.
Nikiongelea story ya shule, your first suspension in school, unaweza relate.
Okay.
So ni vitu mtu anaweza relate. Unaona, rafiki yako aliuziwa simu Bonoko, you can relate. Uliuziwa Samsung badala ya Samsung.
You can relate.
You can relate.
So this is how you go. So this is actually go picking, you know, the topics that you will talk to.
Yes, the topics that are, yes, alafu naziangalia, nazi draft pole pole with my crew. I have a very wonderful crew that wananisaidia kujenga. So nikishaijenga na washo mnaisikiaje, mnaionaje? Wananiambia piga tuisikie. Naipiga tunamanyama naipeleka.
Yes. Kish, on that note,
yes.
Crew.
Yes.
Because the way you mentioned that you are an upcoming, you know, storyteller in this, upcoming comedian in this particular space, your storytelling. Now, kuna aspect you always miss, especially as upcomings in whatever front, that I need to have a team.
Yes.
I need to have a crew. Sometimes you always have these tendencies of, you know, I'm gifted, I'm talented.
Yes.
I can do this.
Yes.
Nishaambiwa venye mimi naweza sema story. So why do I need a team? Why do I need a crew? I'd love for you to tell us the importance of having people on the side to just help you put your things together.
I'll tell you for free. Without fear of contradiction. Hata ukiwa mdeadly aje na una crew iko behind wewe, uweze come through. Most of us tunajiaminigi nikiona wewe ukipresent news ama segment nasema naweza dupo kushida ule. But you don't know what goes behind before ufike hapa. So for me, my crew may come through because the first time that I came up with this idea, I went to a very good friend of mine amuitaga Odongo. Brown aliniambia hii ndio umechagua na unaona inaweza. Sawa tuende. But akaniambia you need a crew my friend. Hauwezi fanya peke yako na mimi. So I thought of it na nikafikiria I've been born in Emba and bred in Emba and there are so many guys that were in the studio journalism and stuff. Then I started calling them one by one. A very good friend of mine DOP wangu anaitwa Horace. Horace nikamwambia come niko na kitu hapa. What he asked me was una shoot lini? Mpaka mimi nikakuwa taken aback. Aya, una shoot lini? Yeah, datako tayari. Nikamwambia nitafute editor. There's a good friend of mine Abis. Come. Yes, nikamwambia nitafute director. There's a good friend of mine Chester. Kuja. Nikaambiwa my friend, bado unahitaji digital, unahitaji graphics. So niko like ala.
So yote bado ni team,
bado ni team. So Joan came through. So people came through for me. Yes, because naambiwa ni team, siwezi fanya peke yangu. So most of us upcoming tunahata hiyo segment, tunahata hiyo part ya
team.
Najiweza.
So again, what you're saying is that it's important to actually have a team.
It's important to have a crew.
Nice. So that's how actually we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
We could have continued the conversation further. But that was TV Okoth, aka Kish, who's a comedian, just talking to us about his personal journey into comedy and the growth of comedy industry in this country. And that is where we bring this conversation to a close. And ultimately, good morning, Kenya, this Thursday from me and on behalf of the entire team that made the show a success. Till next week, good morning.